The Christmas just passed. Today is Tuesday, December 26th, and the New Year is coming. And so, of course, people have lots of interesting meals on the go, lots of food choices for the holidays. And I've been in Canada since August 18th, 1997. So basically 26 and a half years. And when I was a long-haul trucker, I traveled all across US and Canada. So I'm very familiar with Canadian food, American food, and also Indian, Chinese, Korean, and recently I've been partial to Vietnamese with their spicy noodle beef soups. But of course, you're gonna watch your calories. But there's one dish that I think last time I ate it is when I was in Russia, or actually when I visited my family some 7 or 8 years ago, because this particular dish is you will always find it on a holiday table, whether it's a Ukrainian community or a Russian community. You know, it's that popular. It's a salad, but with lots of ingredients, and in Russian it's called Olivier or Olivier, Olivier, which is similar to the name Oliver, so we're going to call it Oliver salad. It's also known by the other name Stolичный, kind of like the Russian vodka Stolичная, which means belonging to a capital. It's something to do with the capital of the country, right? Like the capital Capitol building, Capitol residence, whatever. So we're gonna call it Oliver or Capitol. So let's get cooking. And I just came back from a trip to a grocery store. So I'm gonna show you the ingredients. What goes into this? So optional, just to boost the morale of the cook, is some nice wine, some parsley, pickled cucumbers, mayo, some kind of a sausage, more about it in a second, sweet peas. You don't need two cans, it just I bought something for the future. So some potatoes, carrot, peas, and in Russian they use what they call doktorskaya kolbasa, which is kind of like a soft with a slightly bigger pieces of fat inside, but this is pretty similar. But just in case, I also bought this. I'm gonna just cut it and add it. But normally they don't have this kind of salami in the salad. They have something like this, like a soft, almost like cooked ham. That's traditional. And then parsley. So again, pickles. It's and of course you need eggs. Not sure how many. Depends on the size. But so you need some eggs. We'll maybe do 3. I don't know, maybe 4. No, 4 it'll be very big. Probably 3. And that's it. That's all you need. Of course, potatoes and carrots have to be boiled. This have to be boiled. And that's it. The rest is just, cutting it in pieces and mashing it up, adding some mayo, maybe add a spoonful of wine. Let's get started. Okay, step 1, boil the water. Prepare the potatoes, and I'm just gonna cook them whole. Maybe just wash them a little bit. But then of course this has to be, after everything, this has to be cooled down. So usually this is prepared in advance, usually on the day before, and then you put it either outside, you know, if it's winter, right, you put it on your balcony or patio outside, and it cools down. And this is best eaten cold. And the best type of alcohol that goes with this is vodka. That's how they do it in Russian. You take a sip of vodka and then you use this capital or Oliver salad as a chase down. The wine today is Don David Cap Sav 2020 Argentina. Looks good, because I realize that I'm gonna be very hungry by the time all this is done, and especially after it's all cooled. Gotta have some snacks. A bit too much water. Let the magic begin. Well, it's been about 15 minutes, but it's not ready yet because it still feels hard, you know, on the knife. But I'll just keep it on like position 2, like very low heat, but it's like it's boiling. It stopped because I just lift up the cover, but it's boiling, but very slowly. I think they said potatoes, you have to boil them for like 20 minutes, but carrots about 15. But I'll keep boiling them until basically you keep boiling them until they become soft, right? Well, it looks like the carrot is done, but potatoes are still a bit raw. Yeah, it took a while, man. It took like 15 plus 20, 35 minutes. You see now, it's all smooth. I'll just wait till it's a bit cools down. But yeah, potatoes keep almost there, but maybe 5-10 more minutes. And so this is basically the longest part of the preparation. So the carrots and the potatoes, and then the eggs, they only take 12 minutes. Basically, you put them in a pan and pour some cold water on top, bring it to boil, shut it down, and keep them there for 12 minutes, and you have hot boiled eggs, and that's it. Everything else is ready. You know, you don't have to do anything about that. So that's why in many online guides they say that this particular recipe is easy. It's definitely not too complicated. I'm still surprised that why you don't see this in restaurants and cafes in Canada and the States. You know, why is it absent from everyday menus, and especially why is it absent from holiday menus? Well, almost like 45 minutes later, I think our potatoes are done. So that's our second secret ingredient of the capital / Oliver salad. So the second stage is making some hard-boiled eggs. And the best way to do these is just put cold water enough to cover them. Then set the heat to the max till the water boils, and then once it starts boiling, turn off the heat, and I'm gonna move it to the unpowered spot and just time 12 minutes. That's the secret to the perfect boiled egg. Well, the water starts to boil, so we can remove it from heat, turn the heat off, and start our timer. "12 minutes. Why we have so many of them? I only need one. So, in theory, by the time this timer goes down to 0, these eggs are gonna be hard-boiled eggs. And then we'll just start cutting and slicing and adding peas and pickles and mayo and some parsley and salt and pepper. Well, 12 minutes is over. We're just getting the hot water out. We're putting some cold water in. But let them cool down. Okay, and then we'll start mixing all this magic together. Well, and that's pretty much it. So all we have to do now is just add some salt, some pepper, maybe a bit of oil, but most importantly we have to add some mayo. What the heck? I think that should be enough. And the one I have here, it's avocado oil, but you can use any kind. Just make sure. Make sure you mix it very well together. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have any big dishes, but if you can mix it like that, yeah, that's enough mayo. Oh shit. So pretty much that's your Столичный Olivier salad, or Oliver, as we agree to call it, capital salad. And all it needs now is to get cold. So I'm gonna put it outside on my patio, and then it's ready to eat. The only problem is it was pretty extensive. Like, yeah, potatoes and the cucumber take a long time. Then of course, you know, eggs, it's only 12 minutes after they're boiled, but probably took like 30-40 minutes to prepare the potatoes. But there you go. This is the dish that's not for some reason available anywhere in US and Canada, unless you to be lucky enough to live next to a Russian, Polish, or Ukrainian grocery store. Sometimes you will see, you go there and you will see that they offer Столичный, or capital salad. This is exactly what I made here. So basically potatoes, eggs, carrots, peas. But I'm telling you, like, this is what Russians and Ukrainians eat most typically on a holiday such as this. And especially since now Ukraine changed their calendar, and so now they're celebrating Christmas at the same time as Canada and US, whereas before they were aligned with the Russian calendar, which I believe is January 7th or 6th. But that's what it is. Okay, so I'm gonna put it on a plate, but I want to put it outside. I'm gonna get some vodka, because that's the best type of alcohol that goes with this dish, and it has lots of protein, you know, not too many carbs, so it's pretty good in terms of nutritional value. So yeah, so there you have it. Столичный Салат Оливье, capital salad, or Oliver salad. I'm just gonna put it out there. Hopefully nobody's gonna steal it. because I need to get some vodka. So in other news, yesterday I texted the customer in Florida asking if he had received the ambulance, and he said, yeah, they delivered Sunday 8 p.m. Like, what? When I asked the carrier twice, I said, what time do you want to deliver? They said, Monday 25th. Okay, so they delivered 24th at 8 p.m. and only because they were asking me about the you know, when the receiver is open, I told them it's a 24/7 facility since it's an ambulance station. And so they deliver Sunday night, no emails, no text from the carrier. So the only way I know that the ambulance was delivered is because I asked the customer. And I'm pretty sure that on the carrier confirmation, I included a clause about minimum amount of updates. And I always want 5 updates. So if you're a carrier and you're doing a load for me, I request 5 status updates. Number 1, arrived at shipper. Number 2, loaded, leaving shipper. Number 3, cross the border, if it's a cross-border shipment. Number 4, arrived at consignee. And number 5, load is delivered. 5. That's all I want. 5. So these guys never send me. Well, we were kind of like arguing about, you know, loading. They were late for loading. Remember, you know, I was talking about this before, and turns out the shipper was closing at 12 o'clock noon, and they barely made it. So they never told me when they crossed the border, except I had to ask them, hey, has your truck crossed the border? Oh yeah, he crossed yesterday. Okay, but they never submitted that information as requested without me asking. And they never told me when they arrived at the consignee, and they never told me when it was delivered. So that's like 3 occurrences missing at least. And I'm pretty sure my carrier confirmation says if these status updates are missing or not submitted, basically financial repercussions can be applied. So I'm not sure what to do about this guy. Like, first time I worked with them, they were almost perfect. They sent me a notification when they loaded, when they crossed the border, when they delivered. But now, maybe because it's a holiday, so me as a broker, I got some flexibility. I can basically, you know, take some money off from what I promised them because they did not stick to the rules I asked them to follow. That's what happens, you know, when you're, if some carriers are watching this and you need some kind of a feedback. So okay, first time you're good, I liked your performance, the customer was impressed because nothing was damaged, the load was delivered as promised. But second time there were no updates, right? And the carrier shows up at the consignee at a different time than what they promised. But I have a good, as a broker, I have a good relationship with the customer, with the consignee, with the buyer who buys these ambulances in Canada, because of course, you know, Canadian dollar is like 1.3 less than US dollar. So basically 1.3 Canadian is $1 US. So US dollar is much stronger. So if you're in the States and you want to buy something in Canada, you're saving pretty much 30%, right? And that's why it's always beneficial to American customers to buy stuff in Canada when the Canadian dollar is low versus the American dollar. And that's exactly what's been happening, I don't know, for the past freaking 500 years, except I think 2 years where Canadian dollar was pretty much on par with US. And back then I had a feeling I should probably buy some US dollars, you know, because they were so cheap. Like if you use your Canadian dollars, you know, let's say I had 10,000 Canadian, I can just go and buy 10,000 US, and then probably 5-6 months later I can sell them for 1,300 Canadian. You know, I could have made 3 grand Canadian like that. Yeah, sometimes I got feelings about this, you know, potential winning scenarios. But yeah, so what happens now, the customer is happy to keep working with me, and he says, oh, we might do it again in 2024. But now I'm not so sure I want to work with this carrier, right? And this is just kind of like a heads up to carriers, because there's so many carriers available, right, in US and Canada. Like I can hire anybody as long as they don't charge me too much. But that's the problem, you know, like first time you work with them, they're all nice and you know, everything is by the book. Then second time you work with them, they charge you more money than before, and they don't follow on their promises. So yeah, why should I use them again, you know? And so next time these guys might be surprised, you know, like, hey, how come we didn't hear about the ambulance from Captain Sergei? Well, because, you know, you fucked up at load number 2. So that, I think that's the easiest way for carriers to stay on the good side of brokers, is just keep communications at the proper level as was requested by the broker, or as what you did the first time, right? So now again, there's no border crossing update, there's no loaded update unless I ask for it, there's no delivery update. I don't like this, okay? So that's the truth. Oh wow, check this out. Well, this is a nice neighborhood. Nobody even steals your pan with an Oliver or capital salad when you got it. Unbelievable. I like this neighborhood. All right, let's go check if it's cold enough, and then we can just put it on a plate and see what happens. All right, now this looks familiar to me. I'll be honest with you. So potatoes, sausage, carrots, mayonnaise. Okay, I don't think we have enough peas. Maybe we'll have to add peas. Yeah, there should be a bit more. There should be a bit more peas on this. It tastes definitely better when you have lots of peas. So that's my brunch slash dinner all together. And then I probably still have something for tomorrow early breakfast. That's usually what happens, you know, like in Russia, when they cook for holiday, usually they overcook, meaning there's too much stuff. And then, as far as I remember, we always, like after New Year, you know, the biggest holiday, we always ended up eating the same Olivier or Столичный or Oliver or bargain, I mean capital salad, maybe for 2 more days. You know, honestly, that's what happened. But this is pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. Maybe a bit more mayo. Just, you know, trying to remember how it looked when I was in Russia. I think, yes, we needed more peas, a bit more salt, and more mayo. Yeah, the mayo should definitely be visible, you know. I remember that. Yeah, something like this. All right, so I think now we're cooking with gas, and there you have it, boys and girls. I urge everybody to try this original Russian and Ukrainian recipe, Салат Оливье or Столичный, so Oliver or capital salad. Cheers.